Elo, elo.
Witam wszystkich, tutaj Piaro z tej strony, a my będziemy trzeci odcinek Vampyra. Już jestem. Oj, chyba kamerka się... Mam nadzieję, że się streamuje. Czekajcie, bo chyba się kamera rozłączyła. Czy co? Włącz po... A ja chcę kamerkę. Czekajcie, ja sobie... Tak. To jest gra nasza. No jest, teraz, dobra. Coś się musiało zepsuć. Okej. No trochę zmniejszę. Jak zwykle problemy techniczne. Dobra. Czy idzie stream? Idzie, a zobaczmy na YouTubie. O, i teraz jest gitas Okej. Idziemy do gry. Teraz tak jak się robi na jednym monitorze. Poprzedni odcinek szlak trafił. Nie chciało się nagrać, nie wiem dlaczego. Ale teraz tak. Już przypomniałem sobie jak się w to gra. Nocna zmiana. Dalej. A więc tak, co było przez tą godzinkę? Trochę przypomniało mi się jak się w to gra. Żeby nie lamić. Ciekawe czy mi się wczyta gra? To jest pytanie. Idę, bo mnie wołają. Zaraz wracam. Słyszałem. Okej. Idzie? Okej, dobra, jedziemy. Bo tak, mamy wejść do tej kostnicy. A ty kim jesteś? Bo z tobą nie gadałem jeszcze.
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reed, the new surgeon at the Pembroke Hospital. And who are you?
Your name has no meaning to me, mortal. You're nothing but dust blown by the winds of eternity.
I beg your pardon.
What are you begging for, mortal? My clemency? Well, tonight maybe I'm inclined to mercy. You'll never forget the night you met Thelma Howcroft.
You keep calling me mortal. Why is that? And if I'm mortal, what are you?
Well, Dr. Reed, if you must know, I'm a vampire.
Aha, drugi poziom. Jesteś wampirem?
And why do you believe you're a vampire?
I don't need to believe anything. It is what I am. It is what I feel within this hollow shell of flesh.
Jak się czujesz?
Please, describe to me how you feel. What is it like to be a vampire?
I can hear my body crumble from the inside as my flesh cracks and fades. I sense the last pulse of postulant blood within my drying veins. I need new blood.
Słyszałaś o zespole Koktorda?
I see. Have you ever heard of Cotard syndrome, Miss Howcroft?
Never.
It's a mental illness discovered by a French neurologist named Jules Cotard. The affected patients are delusional. They believe that they are putrefying, that they are dead, a ghost or a ghoul, or in your case, a vampire.
Delusional, you say? Oh, sad and petty mortal. You can't even begin to understand the concept of immortality. And you think it is I who am delusional.
Okej. Czy jesteś pacjentką?
I'm assuming you must be a patient here. Am I right, Miss Howcroft?
It's only a cover to hide from my enemies. I can leave whenever I want. As a woman, a spirit, fog, or bat.
Twoi wrogowie.
Who are these enemies you mentioned? Can you describe them?
I cannot say for sure. But I sense their eyes on me from nearby. I feel them watching me every time I visit the garden near the morgue.
Zaopiekujemy się tobą.
The staff here are not your enemy. They're here to help you, to care for you.
I'm not speaking of the doctors in white. I'm speaking of the men and women who hunt me. For I am a vampire.
I see. Don't worry. These people will not find you here. I'll personally make sure they leave you alone.
Thank you, but do not interfere with them, for you are no match for those that hunt me.
Kim naprawdę jesteś?
Who are you really, Miss Howcroft? I mean, apart from being a vampire.
Is that not enough for you, puny mortal? What do you require? Proof of my powers?
I'm curious to know who you were before becoming a vampire.
No, it's such a long time ago I don't remember. Centuries of unholy life can have strange effects on one's minds, you see?
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark, to your nocturnal activities.
gaz. Ło, ale wczytywanie. Ho, nie wiem co się dzieje. Za długo. Tak nie było. No. Jak się kurde zamierza. Tańczę makarenę. Autofagia. Leczenie. China. No i boss. Nie lubię bossów. Mamy marne szanse, ale... Boss! Pora zmiana! Uwaga! O nie! Nie mogę zginąć!
Skulls can be so ferocious. I'm not sure I can defeat them without becoming stronger. To drink blood is so tempting.
Ja muszę przytrzymać, ja mówię, czemu ja się nie leczyłem?
Sodium hypochlorite. Dangerous to administer, but efficient in the proper dosage.
Dobra. Czekajcie, ja zobaczę, czy to się zapisuje. Czy idzie ten... Czy idzie... Tak, idzie, dobra. Idziemy. Niewiele brakowało, ale trzeba się podkręcić. Tak, są już. Muszę patrzeć na staminę. Od tyłu ich trzeba. Jeden cios i wtedy leży. Słaba broń. O nie, autofagia! Oj. Ajajaj. Nie zdążyłem. Dobra. Po bossie powinienem się odrodzić. Nie trafiłem, no! To ja się teraz pomęczę. Jeden na jednego to jeszcze jako tako. Można podkręcić tutaj. A ja muszę stąd wyjść. Grę zapisało. Kuźwa, tak zlamić. A, picie mi się skończyło. Super. Stwórz środek na zmęczenie. No dobra, to chyba nie w tą stronę. Trafić drzwi nie mogę, no co za... Dwa naboje. Okej, nie ta. Tu. Środek na regenerację. Środek na zmęczenie. Ale nie. A nie mogę. Jest. jeszcze mogę? Do 1000. Nie, 3. Okej. Dorothy Crane. O! Tu jest Dorothy. Biele, no to ci... O jest.
My sweet girl.
Finally, you've returned, Doctor. Did you find anything of value?
Właśnie.
Yes, nurse.
You've worked your first miracle, Doctor. Now, this patient here needs immediate treatment.
Duty calls. When the storm has passed, I'll show you how to mix the remedy yourself with the same basic ingredients.
Many thanks, Doctor. When you've finished, you ought to report to Dr. Swansea in his office. He's been looking for you. Seemed pressing.
Okej, nie ma sprawy.
This hospital seems to be falling apart. But in the circumstances, I'm willing to give you the benefit of the doubt.
No dobra.
Good evening, madam. Can I help you?
It's my son who needs you, sir.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. How can I help your son?
I'm Beatrice Goswick, mother of Mortimer Goswick. Could you check on him, please, Dr. Reed? I've heard much of your talents as a physician.
Jakieś zażalenia wobec
What
szpitala?
do you think of your reception here? Any complaints?
I have had the uttermost reservations about this hospital since we arrived. But we had no other choice, considering the state of emergency.
Is there something in particular that's bothering you?
Some of the staff were not especially welcoming. I suspect they're not accustomed to dealing with patients of such social standing.
What can you tell me about yourself, Mrs. Goswick?
Not much to say. Just take care of my Mortimer and I'll cover all the expenses. That's all that matters.
Co porabiasz na co dzień?
May I ask if you have an occupation, Mrs. Goswick?
I'm a teacher by profession. I teach young women who are more ambitious about their futures than their families.
Nie, o to się nie pytaj. Zaraz dostaniesz. Aha.
Tell me more about your arrival at the Pembroke Hospital. What gave you such a bad first impression?
The ambulance driver was quite rude, for a start. And that nurse, Miss Hawkins, seems to have quite a dubious attitude.
What do you mean?
She managed to secure a bed for my son despite the epidemic. It was a relief, but it wasn't cheap.
Teraz jestem w szoku.
I share your concern, Mrs. Goswick. Be sure that I'll talk to the people involved.
I don't expect compensation, Dr. Reed. But I'm aware such behavior would not be tolerated in other hospitals.
She charged you for a bed.
Yes, and I paid without question, considering the urgency of the situation.
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswick.
You like the book?
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed. Can I help at all?
No,
Really? Why are you here then?
I don't want to talk. My throat hurts too much.
I suppose that this pain is the reason you're here. Is someone taking care of you?
Yes. And no.
Could you at least tell me your name, sir?
Mortimer. Mortimer Goswick.
How painful is your throat, Mr. Goswick?
So painful I'd rather not talk at all, Doctor.
Aha.
I'm sure you realize a doctor and his patient have to communicate, sir. Would it help if I gave you some paper and a pen?
Not really.
I see. Then maybe it's not just your throat that hurts, Mr. Goswick. Perhaps your sore throat is just the consequence of something more hurtful.
Yes, maybe. But I don't want to talk or even write about it now.
O pobycie w szpitalu.
Why did your mother have you hospitalized here? She seems convinced this is a bad hospital.
My mother just wants the best for me. She won't rest while I'm here. She'd go all the way to hell and back to help me.
Czy matka ci... Nie. Jesteś w dobrych rękach.
Pembroke Hospital may look unorthodox, but rest assured you're in good hands here.
It's not me you have to convince, Dr. Reed. It's my mother.
Powiedz mi coś o sobie.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Goswick.
I don't want to talk, Doctor.
Badanie
Do you need any help?
I'm afraid I may, sir. I don't mean to be a burden.
Badanie lekarstwa.
You are not a burden, sir. Healing you is my responsibility.
And you have my gratitude for that.
I have to go now, sir. But don't hesitate to contact me if you need any help.
I'm all right. Don't waste your time with me.
Edgar Swansea. Nie. Nie wy... Muszę z tobą pogadać, dziewczyno. Jak mogłaś...
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Muszę pogadać z tobą. Co łączy cię z Miltonem?
Pepper, I know you're very close to Milton Hooks.
Yes, Milton Hooks is my man. If you want to report me for that, just feel free, Doctor.
I have no intention of reporting you, Nurse Hawkins. But are you aware of the risks?
The rules say I won't be allowed to work as a nurse anymore. But here at the Pembroke, we break rules all the time.
Is he worth the risk?
Hey, I'm no perfect woman, and Milton is not the finest bloke, but we do our best to get by. That's all any of us can hope for nowadays.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
Poczekajcie. Zrobimy jeszcze jedną. Chodź tu. Chodź tu, chcę cię uleczyć, ciebie i
Good
Hopkinsa.
evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening,
Do you need medical help yourself, nurse?
I'm fine, really. I just need to sleep.
Okej.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
Idziemy do kierowcy. To był chyba... Jest kierowca.
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor. Still trying to save lives?
Do you need any medical help, Milton?
I'm fine, Doc. Physically, at least. But I would give everything to be in a better place right now.
Aha.
Goodbye, Milton.
They know we are overwhelmed.
Good evening, Dr. Tibbets.
Dr. Reed, any good news to share?
Do you need any medical assistance yourself, Doctor?
Come on, don't be ridiculous, dear colleague.
You're exhausting yourself, Corcoran. Maybe you should think about preserving your strength.
Właśnie.
No, we must keep...
Nurse Brannigan is worried about you, Doctor.
She should not have told you that.
You don't have to blame her for her honor.
I'm not that...
Okej, there we go.
Goodbye, Dr. Tibbets.
Tu jest zmęczenie. Tu podałem. Tu. Trzeba go. On jest zmęczony. Idziemy. Nie pij ty.
Hey, Doc. You're lucky to be alive, Mr. Cox. I hope you're starting to take better care of yourself.
This place is full of sickness and decay. How can I get better in such a dump?
Consider yourself lucky that I'm treating all of my patients equally. But don't push your luck.
Don't play the innocent with me. I'm sure you have good reasons to act this way. And also weaknesses that can be exploited.
I'll leave you for now, Mr. Cox.
Dobra. Idziemy do doktora Swansea. Czego Swansea od nas może chcieć? Czyżby zmienił zdanie, mam opuszczać to miejsce? Swansea.
I cannot enter.
Please, Jonathan, come in.
O.
Fascinating, is it not? In the last decade, so many mysteries have been brought to light with our microscopes. The human body, biology's penultimate frontier. The more we explore its boundaries, the less we're able to trace a clear line between life and death. You, my friend, have a foot in both countries. The view must be vertiginous.
It's at least as vertiginous as chatting about vampires with you, I would say.
This must be all so new to you. This area of town, the hospital, a brand new life. How stimulating it must be.
I wish I could share your enthusiasm, Dr. Swansea, but my condition defies scientific categorization. Undead? Unalive? Immortality defies logic.
I cannot express my thrill at this serendipitous turn of events. The world's most eminent specialist in blood transfusions, a vampire. One might say a gift from heaven.
Jestem chodzącym paradoksem.
There is an absurd poetry to my situation. Physician, heal thyself.
Forgive me. I've been an admirer of your work for a long time, and now you are so much more than a brilliant physician. And please, call me Edgar.
Potrzebujemy siebie nawzajem.
I'm not some doe-eyed student, Edgar. I understand we both have something to gain from this relationship.
Very well. I have a task for you, Jonathan. Something that will require all your newfound skills.
Please, go on.
The Pembroke only survives through the generosity of our benefactors. Unfortunately, our main donor has found herself in a bit of a bind. Now, if you could help her out...
A spokesman or politician is what you need. That's not my calling. And until I come to understand what has happened to me, I require discretion.
Discretion is in order, Jonathan. Lady Ashbury has recently received rather indelicate correspondence that, if revealed, would jeopardize her position.
And you would like me to eradicate this threat?
By the stole, of course not. I would just like you to pay her a visit. Her ladyship is certainly near the tents outside, tending the sick. You can't miss her. Look for someone impossibly delicate.
Accepted. I'll see what kind of trouble Lady Ashbury is in.
Dobrze, mamy... Patrzmy, ile nagrania mamy? 45 minut. Dobra. Vampyr. Okej, idziemy stąd. Ci Edgar... Musimy przeszukać tu jeszcze biuro. Nie będzie miał się szuka? Okej. Ostrzeżenie. Nie wiem, czy ja tu jeszcze wejdę, więc wolę... On tu mnie obserwuje. Edgarze.
Do you need something, Jonathan?
Mam kilka pytań.
I have just a few questions.
Then ask away. I'm at your service, Doctor.
O bractwie.
You mentioned something about a secret society. A brotherhood, if I recall. Could you elaborate?
Certainly. I've been a member of the Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole for several years. We are pledged to monitor and report vampire activity in England as impartial scientific observers.
Czekajcie, idę telefon zabrać. Badania jakieś. Dobra. Skąd twoje przechadzki?
That explains your nightly wanderings about the docks and the questions you ask.
I feel it wasn't mere coincidence that led us to that part of town. There was something as yet unseen that set those chain of events in motion.
Yet you don't fear me. And still, you know the monster that lurks beneath the civilized surface.
The Brotherhood has studied your kind for centuries. We believe you are as supernatural as a lion is to a gazelle.
O szpitalu.
Since I'm the one working for you, what should I know about Pembroke Hospital?
Well, for many years, we have been the only medical facility in this part of town that people can rely on. We support the community here, as well as provide health care.
Where do we stand today?
But to be honest, we cope on a day-to-day basis. The first wave of the Spanish flu last summer took us by surprise.
Trochę podjeść.
We lack many of the basic necessities needed.
Czego ode mnie oczekujesz?
What do you expect of me?
What we need is hope. You were a soldier. This is a war. This white coat's still a uniform. We fight to help the poor, the sick of the East End, the forgotten.
Since you seem quite the expert on vampires, what could you tell me about my
Właśnie.
condition and how it came about?
As men of science, our first step is always to start with what we know. Forget the myths, the hackneyed scrawlings, and the penny dreadfuls. They do not scratch the surface of the truth you now find yourself in.
The sun. The morning following my transformation. Its rays burned me. There was pain, smoke, and my skin blackened.
You will find there is very little that can kill a vampire, my friend. You have been offered relative immortality. The sun will most certainly hurt you, leaving you weakened and damaged, but it will not destroy you.
Czyli nie może mnie zniszczyć słońce. To jest nieprawda.
Must I take a life to live?
You are a vampire. You feed, and blood is the sole sustenance that can sustain your immortal frame. And only a living creature contains the nourishment you require.
O Williamie Bishopie.
The man we pursued and slew in the canning factory, William Bishop, I believe, was he a vampire?
He was a Skald, technically speaking. The debate rages as to their classification. Some think them a subspecies of vampire, others something else.
How do Skulls come into existence?
The name means slave. The etymology may indicate that they are a lesser species of vampire. From what I know, vampires tend to despise them.
Okej. W jaki sposób skala jest inny?
Just for clarity, what differences are there between myself and a Skull?
A skull is easier to eliminate, Jonathan, even if they remain formidable foes for the unprepared. Vampires exist beyond the mortal realm.
We'll see each other again soon, Edgar.
No to tu się dużo dowiedziałem. Dobra, idziemy.
The flower's dying. It needs water.
Przepraszam. odpoczywamy. Ale też się rozwijamy. Mam 1600, potrzebuję. Stan zdrowia. Dobrze. Potwierdź. Okej, kolejnej nocy. Zdrowy. Ważne wydarzenia w dzielnicy. Każdej nocy konsekwencje twoich czynów mogą pozytywnie lub negatywnie wpłynąć na status zdrowy dzielnicy. Status może spadać. Aha. Okej. Jak powinno być. I dobrze. Mapa, zobaczmy. Wszyscy zdrowi. Filar. Polepszyłam? No oczywiście. Haha!
Thelma Howcroft said she was being watched by vampire hunters. Where are they hiding? I should investigate.
Apologize when you're feeling better.
I will not let you down, my boy.
The flu took my dear wife, Emily. I take comfort knowing we'll soon be together again.
Mr. Rainfield, that's no way to talk. You're in good hands here, and we'll be up again soon enough. Now do me a kindness and get some sleep. I'll be back round later.
Your words are kind, the blessings of an angel. You're the sweet, sweet Lady of Mercy.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. It's a pleasure to see you again. You seem surprised. Dr. Swansea has brought me up to speed concerning your recent appointment to Pembroke Hospital.
You're a the lady who saved me that night, before vanishing into thin air. I remember you from the pub with Dr. Swansea.
Indeed. Allow me to introduce myself formally this time. My name is Lady Ashbury. I remember you well, in spite of the brevity of our encounter.
Cieszę się, że cię widzę.
Apologies. You've taken me by surprise. I'm very happy to see you.
The pleasure is mine, Doctor.
I hope you're more disposed to answer my questions now.
You must have countless questions, but our rather urgent matter first. Swansea has explained. My cover, if you prefer, has been compromised.
Jestem tu, żeby ci pomóc.
Dr. Swansea has commissioned me to be your agent in this matter. You could start by explaining what's amiss.
These past insufferable weeks, I've been the victim of extortion. I've made a first payment, but the blackmailer grows greedy. I must refuse his most recent demands.
Kontynuuj.
Please continue. Every detail is essential. I'm your man.
My embarrassment in this matter is eclipsed only by my shame at having put the hospital at risk. The threat from our anonymous scoundrel is clear. A list of dates. My visits coinciding with the dates of suspicious patient deaths due to massive blood loss.
Zajmę się tym.
I'll take care of it. Do you know where I should start?
If that was the case, I'd settle the matter myself. You could talk to our local gossip, Harriet Jones. Not a pin drops here without her hearing about it.
I'll meet that woman now.
My life, as others know, is in your hands, Dr. Reed. I'm sure of your discretion, but I do fear your powers of persuasion will be put to the test. When this is resolved, I'll be your obligé. I'll answer all questions in regards of your condition.
Pióro. No proszę. Coraz gra mnie... Ta gra mnie zaskakuje.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I believe we're going to be colleagues.
Reed? Yes, I've been informed about your arrival. I'm Waverly Ackroyd. Welcome aboard, I suppose.
Does my arrival inconvenience you in some way, Dr. Ackroyd?
Let us just say that I don't particularly share Dr. Swansea's enthusiasm for hiring you. What we need here are reliable professionals, not overrated dabblers.
Since your tenure in this hospital is longer than mine, perhaps you can tell me more about this place.
Let's just say I'm tired of the carelessness around me. I have always respected the skills of Dr. Swansea, but over time his enthusiasm has become displaced.
Carelessness? Exactly what are you talking about?
We're here to save lives. The people who trust us are not volunteering for experimentation. They're here to be healed.
I don't intend to run any radical experiments, Doctor. Even if I, as any good practitioner should, express an interest in pushing the boundaries of medical research.
Modern medical methods were created through audacity and ego. But there are rules in our line of work, and they're here to protect our patients.
If you have a problem with me, Dr. Ackroyd, please feel free to tell me.
Dr. Swansea has imposed your presence on this hospital without asking anyone's advice. The benefit of his position. But I don't agree with it.
I know we've never met before, but I believe this hospital could use all the help it can get. You will agree with that, I'm sure.
Oh, but I have heard about you, Dr. Reed. Of course, you can't say the same about me, since I have not wasted my time courting the press.
Skąd ta wrogość?
There is no need for such animosity between us. Don't you think the epidemic is already enough to deal with?
That is one point we could agree on. And that is precisely why I want to be sure that you will be of help to this hospital instead of a burden.
It seems you have bad memories of your military service.
I refuse to see this industrial slaughter as scientific progress. War only reveals the worst in men.
We can at least agree on something, Dr. Ackroyd. I don't know what you've heard about me, but I have already proved my value as a practitioner.
I don't question your skills, Dr. Reed, but your motive. Is it money, fame, or are you truly dedicated?
And what exactly is that supposed to mean?
I served in the war just like you. But unlike you, I did not use the wounded to play the modern sorcerer.
Be careful what you insinuate, Dr. Ackroyd.
I only want you to admit you used those men to improve your theories.
Ocaliłem wiele rzeczy.
This is ridiculous. My blood transfusion technique saved many lives, and you know it.
You see? That is exactly what I hate about people like you. You avoid this kind of accusation instead of facing reality.
I don't know what you've heard about me.
I don't question your skills, Doctor.
And what exactly?
I served in the war just like...
Be careful what you insinuate.
I only want you to admit you...
This is ridiculous. My blood transfusion...
You see?
Have you heard about any blackmail going on in this hospital?
Blackmail? Nonsense.
Okay.
Thank you for your time.
O, ten jest nieznany.
Good evening, Doctor. I believe we're going to be working together.
Dr. Reed. Dr. Swansea informed us of your arrival, but I could not dare to believe we'd have such good fortune. Such an honor, sir.
Thank you. And you are?
I am Thoreau Strickland, Dr. Thoreau Strickland. I'm a great admirer of your work, Dr. Reed.
What can you tell me about the Pembroke?
Well, it has always been an honor to work with Dr. Swansea. But with your arrival, I can't think of a better opportunity to learn about blood transfusion.
Potrzebujesz pomocy?
Do you need help with anything in particular?
Well, yes, maybe. I'm waiting for a batch of products I ordered for my personal research, yet my supplier seems to have vanished.
Do you want me to play the errand boy for you?
Oh no, Dr. Reed. But if you went personally to his shop, what with your reputation and all, he wouldn't dare to refuse the products I need.
I see. Well, give me the address, for I may pass by if I have time.
O, zadanie dodatkowe. Optymista
You
się.
seem quite optimistic. It's a rare and precious attitude in these difficult times.
No tak.
I'm convinced that this epidemic is a test of endurance and dedication for us men of science.
Questions remain about our capacity to resolve the situation.
True. Last summer, during the first wave of the epidemic, I used to joke with Milton about the extra work. We're not smiling now.
Please, could you tell me something about yourself?
I'm a great admirer of your work concerning blood transfusion, Dr. Reed. I run my own experiments. I'm convinced it's the future.
I based my technique on my mentor's research. He helped me perfect my method. What is yours?
I'd rather not talk about it. For now, it's just theories and first approach. My process is purely experimental and unsuccessful.
As long as you're cautious and methodical, you may remain empty-handed, but you won't fail.
You're not the first one to warn me, but I am convinced knowledge is the main weapon against the ravages of this epidemic.
What made you choose to be a doctor?
I'm not ashamed to admit you and your work have inspired me. I am honored to have the opportunity to work by your side.
Z chęcią pomogę.
It's always a pleasure to share scientific and medical knowledge with someone eager to learn. I'll be glad to help you if I can.
This epidemic may be the century's most terrible disaster, but I'm convinced that we, as doctors, are the only ones able to defeat it.
What do you think of Dr. Ackroyd's aversion to modern medical methods?
It's a shame he's so narrow-minded. Dr. Swansea taught me that science is about exploring uncharted territory. I'm convinced that's true.
With the influenza and all that's going on, you should put your differences aside, don't you think? Why is it so difficult to work together?
I believe that if Dr. Ackroyd had been the one to discover the transfusion process, he would be the first to recommend its use.
So you believe it's just a question of jealousy and pride?
Dr. Ackroyd is as proud as he is blinded by his obsolete concept of medical science.
O twojej metodzie transfuzji.
Tell me more about your willingness to experiment with new medical techniques.
Harvey Fiddick is a patient suffering from a severe injury that could cripple him if not treated correctly. I'm convinced your blood transfusion technique could help him.
What is it you really want? To save him, or to prove your point?
Fair question. I want nothing but to save my patient, Dr. Reed. Especially since I know Mr. Fiddick's story.
Pan w takim razie o nim opowie.
Tell me Mr. Fiddick's story.
Our first diagnosis was compromised because Mr. Fiddick lied to us about the real origin of his injury. He first claimed it was an accident.
But why would he hide such crucial information from us?
Because he is a proud father, ashamed of putting his children at risk because of his own negligence.
Musisz zachować neutralność.
This personal involvement could also appear to be a lack of impartiality. You must know that a good surgeon must remain neutral.
I agree. But that does not excuse Dr. Ackroyd's behavior, a man who did not even take time to converse with his patient.
Do you think keeping his distance was a mistake?
All I know is that I'm taking care of human beings with desires, hopes and fears. Not some biological machine comprised of blood, bones and flesh.
Do you need my medical attention, dear colleague?
You don't have to worry about me, Dr. Reed. I am here to assist you, not to be a burden.
Have you heard any talk of blackmail going on in the hospital?
If you're running some official inquiry, you had better question the patients. They know more than the staff, especially old Miss Jones.
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland.
Dobra, Strickland. 30. Będzie ostatnia.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. May I help you?
I don't know if a third opinion is needed.
Your colleagues are already arguing about my condition.
I see. Would you mind telling me more about your situation?
I'm Harvey Fiddick. All I want is to get me bloody arm fixed properly.
Tell me about the doctors who are arguing about your case.
Strickland and Aykroyd. They both want the best for me, but there's a lot of pride there. Doctors are no different from carpenters, it seems.
What do you mean?
I often had professional arguments with rivals on a building site. Difference is, I disagreed about wooden nails, not flesh and bones.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Fiddick.
I'm just a regular guy waiting to get his arm fixed, so I can return to work and to my family.
I was more curious about what you were doing before being hospitalized.
I'm a carpenter, and a good one too. But that means I need both arms to feed my family, Dr. Reed.
Are you satisfied with your treatment here?
Well, it's clear that I've chosen a bad time to be injured. Forgive my bluntness, but you seem overwhelmed by cases of the flu.
I won't lie to you about it. I'm afraid we are.
Are you sure you don't want to operate yourself, Dr. Reed? I have the feeling you're very capable, and your colleagues seem to think so too.
In other circumstances, you would be right. But for now, I don't think I can take on the responsibility. My apologies.
Właśnie.
Tell me about your injury, Harvey. Why do you feel so guilty about it?
My wife died because of me. And now I may lose everything because I've been careless enough to hurt myself. What an arsehole.
Mówisz, nie spodobałeś wypadek?
You can't hold yourself responsible for your injury, Mr. Fiddick. Unless you tried to hurt yourself.
Of course I didn't hurt myself. But I can't work until my arm is fixed. My children need to eat, Doctor.
Żona zmarła swojej winy.
How could your job be responsible for your wife's death?
I was working a double. She went out to bring me a hot meal and got caught in a German bomb raid.
Aha. O śmierć twojej żony.
Tell me more about the death of your wife, Harvey.
1915. I was in the army, building workshops for the Royal Flying Corps. Helen was happy I wasn't sent to the front.
What happened?
The Germans sent Zeppelins to bomb the construction site, but they missed their target. My wife was bringing my dinner when the bombs fell.
How are your children after losing their mother?
They were smaller then. The only good thing about this is my Helen didn't bring them with her that night.
Lot zabił wiele ludzi.
I'm sorry for your loss. So many died during the bombings. I served in France and witnessed the carnage there.
I would like to say that she didn't suffer. Truth is, I have no idea. I just know that I'm all that me kids have. Poor little bleeders.
Have you heard talk of any blackmail here at the hospital?
No, nothing.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
My sweet girl. Reads me like a book. I never could keep anything from her.
Dobra, idziemy zrobić. Powinienem mieć na jedno ulepszenie. Okej, a w następnym odcinku pójdziemy do Harriet Jones. chyba w miacho. Potwierdzamy. Żeby nikt w nocy nie zachorował. O, wow. O. Zmęczenie. Zmęczenie. Wszędzie na środki na zmęczenie trzeba zrobić. Dobra. Dobra, mamy rozbudowaną wydajność krwi rozbudowaną. Dobra. I tym pozytywnym akcentem, gdzie to jest? Będziemy, tą kamera chyba siadła, będziemy kończyć dzisiejszego live'a. Mam nadzieję, że odcinek się podobał. Widzimy się w kolejnym live'ie. W kolejnym live'ie już zrobimy co innego. Godzina 21. No dobra, to kończymy. Pa, pa!